Hi guys, this is Asal. As you know, I'm studying for the bar, and today I would like to review my notes on the defenses in criminal law, specifically the defense of duress and the defense of necessity. I'm going to start with the defense of duress. It has 6 parts, so I suggest you write it down as I go along. So, the defense of duress is available if, number 1, there's a threat of unlawful force, usually death or serious bodily harm. Number 2, the threat comes from a person. Number 3, the threat is made to a person. Number 4, the threat is imminent. Number 5, the defendant reasonably believes that there's a genuine threat. And number 6, the defendant must not have created the situation giving rise to the threat. So all that I just described was the common law. Now I'm going to describe the model penal code. The model penal code duress defense is available if the defendant is coerced by the use or threat of unlawful force, or the person of reasonable firmness in the defendant's situation would not have been able to resist the coercion. Forget that I said or in there, I just the defendant is coerced by the use of threat of unlawful force. A person of reasonable firmness in the defendant's situation would not have been able to resist the coercion. Okay? So now I would like to compare the common law to the model penal code because there are like little differences between them. So under the common law, the threat must be imminent, whereas under the model penal code, the threat doesn't need to be imminent. Okay, so under the common law, the threat must involve serious bodily harm, whereas under the model penal code, the threat doesn't need to involve serious bodily harm or death. Okay, so again, I'm not going to keep on saying model penal code because that's really hard for me to say. So from now on, I'm going to say PMC. Okay, so know what I'm talking about. So under the common law, the threat must come from a person, whereas under the PMC, the threat must come also from a person. Okay, again, these two are similar here. Under the common law, the threat must be directed toward a person. Okay, also under the PMC, the threat must be directed toward a person. Okay, duress claim based on a threat to property is not available in common law or the PMC. And also, there's one more thing that has like a little bit of a difference in the common law and the PMC. The common law, the defendant reasonably believes that the threat is genuine, whereas under the PMC, what would a person of reasonable firmness have done in the defendant's situation? So, that's pretty much everything you need to know about the defense of duress. Now moving on to the defense of necessity. Okay, so what is necessity? This is actually my favorite defense, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so necessity is choosing conduct that is technically unlawful in order to avoid some greater harm. Okay, so there are 5 elements to it. Okay, the first element is that there must be threat of imminent harm. The second element is the harm must be directed toward either a person or to the property. Third, the defendant must have no reasonable legal alternative to avoiding the threat. And fourth, the defendant must come to the situation with clean hands. And 5, the harm that the defendant seeks to avoid must be more serious than the harm caused by the defendant's conduct. Okay, and this was just, I'm going to move on to the common law, and then I want to tell you a little story. So just write this down. Under the common law, a defendant who kills an innocent person might not claim necessity. Okay, so there was this case. It was a case of Regina versus Dudley, whereas there were these 4 guys, their ship crashes and they're like in the middle of the ocean. They're trying to survive. So there's Dudley, there's Stephen, there's Brooks, and there's Parker. Okay, so in this case, I think Brooks was the one who was the weakest. They're like all in the boat. They're like trying to survive. They're not able to catch fish. They're running out of water and food, and it's really survival mode, right? So Dudley's all like, I'm hungry, and then Stefan is like, how are we going to survive this situation? So what these guys end up doing is, to survive, necessity here, defense, is that they end up killing one of the people who is like actually the sickest, and they end up eating him. Okay, so and then they keep on saying, oh well, that was the defense of necessity. If we didn't kill him and we didn't eat him, how would we have survived? So under the common law, a defendant guilty of unlawful conduct done, okay, in the spirit of protest may not claim necessity. Okay, and I would like to compare the common law with the model penal code. Under the common law, the harm must be directed toward either a person or the property, and the threat of harm need not be imminent. So basically what happened in that case, the judge said that no law can justify knowingly killing an innocent person. And the defendants couldn't argue necessity in that case. So they didn't actually win that argument. But, you see the whole point of, like, how you can make the argument of necessity. It's basically, like, when your life is in danger, like, you're trying to, like, really survive. Or, like, for example, in torts, like, I remember the professor was, like, teaching us a case where this guy, he was trying to survive. He was in the middle of nowhere. He breaks into someone else's cabin. He ends up eating, his frozen yogurt. And he was hungry and he was cold. He ends up, with a blanket in front of the fire. And then again, he claims necessity, for his trespass and the conversion and all that he did. So, this is also a defense in criminal law where, like to homicide and like murder, basically when, necessity is your defense. So, what else was I gonna say under here? Under the common law, the harm must be directed toward either the person or the property. Under the PMC, the harm must be directed toward either the person or the property also. Under the common law, the defendant must have no reasonable legal alternative to avoiding the threat. Under the PMC, the defendant reasonably believes that unlawful conduct is necessary to avoid the harm to the defendant or someone else. Under the common law, the defendant must come to the situation with clean hands. Under the PMC, the defendant is not required to come to the situation with clean hands. This is the last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to wrap it up. Under the common law, the harm the defendant seeks to avoid must be greater than the harm caused by the defendant. And under the PMC, the harm that the defendant seeks to avoid must be greater than the harm caused by the defendant also. So I think here's everything you need to know about necessity and duress. And I hope this helps. Have fun studying. Cheers.